to No Enemies Here, the show where everything is for you and for me. Welcome, people. Today, packed show, packed. Ricardo's in the house, and everybody else is in the house. Couldn't ask for more. It's a family reunion. What else is new? A lot of cons have passed. People, if you know of cons, send them to me, the information, so I can at least tell you where the con is and all that stuff, you know? But then, what is it? ARDWULF told me to check the Armchair Dragoons calendar. That's a pretty good one. Check out the Armchair Dragoons calendar. I think Brant's got everything there. So you know what? Without further ado, let's get on with the show. No? Hey, Gracie. Yeah, Gracie. I'm doing my show. That's my dog Gracie. Hold on. Let's see if I can. There she is. Hi, Gracie. You're on the show, man. Gracie's 15 years old. Hi. And she's always by my side. Always. Sometimes you hear her bark because bad people are outside. Hey, bad people. Eh? So that's that for that. Let me see. Oh yeah. Fred Serval of Homo Ludens Fred Serval, that's the Grognard of the year, and myself, the non-Grognard of the year, are gonna start a collaboration on something. So, look, let me show you, and hopefully it goes well. Hopefully we can figure out how to entertain and blah blah blah. Anyways, watch. Man, if it happens, that's cool. And my volume was down. I don't know why that happens to my Mac, but the input volume goes down. Now it's up. So anyways, guys, have a great show, and I'll see you at the end.
Black Jay.
Alright guys, so I might have overdone it a little bit this month, but I have wanted to buy these games for so long, and you know, if you wait and they go out of print, the scalpers will get you 10 times that price. Look at American Tank is being sold for $400 on the Board Game Geek market, and I don't want to do that. And you know, you should support your game designers and game publishers as well. This is a small industry and they need our support. Those are from Kickstarter, the upper two, the other ones I've ordered. Well, that's it guys. You're going to have to expect a lot of content from me. I uploaded a picture of this on the Solitaire Wargames Facebook group. Got a lot of nasty comments. I don't know why people are so offended by me posting a picture of buying a bunch of games. I do what the hell I want with my money. So if you're offended by this video, get your ass off the internet, because you shouldn't be on it.
Hello, this is Riccardo Mazzini, and this time the greatest day in history and games is March 12, 1912. The day of one of the many battles in an almost unknown but extremely consequential conflict just a few years before the Great War, the Italo-Ottoman War. Okay, let's take our maps and look at the geography of Central Mediterranean. You will see the coast of North Africa below, continental Europe above, and the Middle East on the right. On the left portion of the North African coast, you have Morocco, Algeria, and Tunisia, which were at the time in various measures already controlled by Spain and France. The next area is Libya, which still was a province of the Ottoman Empire. And just above Libya, yes, Italy. The fact is that the Ottoman Empire was living its final days, undergoing a troublesome period of the so-called Young Turks Revolution, so much that it was already called the sick man of Europe. It is not surprising at all that the European powers wanted to get a slice of its territory, and surely the emerging power of recently unified Italy was no exception. Italy had just lost the race to get Tunisia to the French, but still wanted its proverbial place in the sun, or as we say, our own un posto al sole, and so increased its commercial and political relations with the province of Libya. The Young Turks, however, tried to stop this soft power expansion, threatening the interests of many Italian financial institutions, such as the powerful Bank of Rome, and the aims of Italian politicians. In essence, a perfect recipe for a war. The ultimatum was sent out by the liberal government of Prime Minister Giovanni Giolitti on September 28, 1911. Istanbul had just 24 hours to respond to the exacting demands of Rome. The Grand Vizier tried an accommodating approach, but it was refused, and so it was war. After some first naval skirmishes between the Reggio Marina and ships carrying supplies to the Libyan garrisons, the first landings began on the entire northern coast of the country, also supported by some of the very first tactical uses of combat aircraft. Occupation of cities like Tripoli, Benghazi, Derna and Tobruk went almost unopposed and without great bloodshed. This led the Italian High Command to think that the entire campaign would be just a cakewalk, that the local population would greet them as friends, and that further expansion in desertic areas would be more a logistical than a military problem. Oh, if they were wrong. The Libyan population was not at all favorable to the invaders and began a long series of guerrilla actions against any Italian formation daring to leave the urban areas of the coast, supported by Turkish regulars, among whom was also Mustafa Kemal, later known as Ataturk, and a clandestine society religious sect ethnic a group called the Senussi. A series of terrible clashes began, among which the Battle of Sharashat near Tripoli. There, a group of Italian prisoners was horribly tortured, mutilated, and then crucified by Turkish soldiers and Arab militiamen. As a reprisal, the Italians, sadly, went on a series of persecutions, mass imprisonment, and even killing of Libyan fighters, and also Libyan civilians. Rome responded to the new crisis by sending more troops, colonial units from Eritrea, fortifying the Italian positions, and one of those positions was the 2-point oasis near Benghazi, also known as Suani Abderrani. On March 12, 1912, the reduct of Foyat was invested by a Turkish artillery bombardment and then a general infantry assault. But the defensive line held, and a counterattack was swiftly organized and executed. The two columns moved from north and south, encircling the besieging force and forcing the Turks to a disastrous rout, leaving 1,000 casualties on the field. This undeniable victory surely gave some much-needed boost to the Italian morale, but it was clear that this war of attrition could not go on forever. So a new front was opened, this time on the Aegean Islands, just before the Turkish mainland. In a series of brilliant naval actions and effective marine landings, this time finally Italian forces quickly captured Rhodes and many other small islands, this time finally being greeted as liberators by the Greek population and pointing a dagger at the empire's throat, Istanbul itself. The Turkish government realized it had to capitulate, asking the other European powers, which were not so favorable to Italian colonial expansion, to act as mediators. Peace talks were organized, and in September 1912 hostilities ceased. Even if all these could seem just a small peripheral conflict that gave Italy only a temporary and uneasy predominance in the region, its consequences were far more reaching. Turkey had shown its weakness, which led to other conflicts in the Balkans, which led to, well, World War I. Also, for us wargamers, this conflict is an event of great interest. Naval landings, tactical aircraft, logistical problems, harsh terrain, asymmetric warfare. But surprisingly, there are not so many games on this war. One of them is the Italian-Ottoman War, 1911-1912, by Joseph Miranda, published as a Strategy and Tactics insert game. The game clearly shows the Italian strategic dilemma. Very strong position on the coast after the first naval landings, but great vulnerability every time anyone dares to venture in the interior. The Ottoman player, on the other hand, has to coordinate all the scattered resistance groups and make good use of the few regular units available. At the beginning of the turn, the enemy phase will give each player a certain quantity of action points that can be spent for activating units, reinforcing them, gathering supplies, and other operations. The main feature of the system is that a unit can be activated many times in the same turn, as long as its player has enough APs. But watch your fragile supply lines. Also, special units will add their unique characteristic to highlight the dynamic battlefield in which tactical advantage will be determined. The dominating player will then have the possibility of immediately withdrawing or gaining the first attack on the single battle. The game focuses on the land actions in Libya itself, but even if the naval struggle in the Aegean is only abstracted, clever mechanics allow players to take meaningful decisions also in that faraway strategic theater, with great and unpredictable consequences. In short, this is an incredibly fluid and surprising game. On a simulated conflict, a lot of attention and operational decision making, a real gem in the field of magazine games. So that's it for this time. See you on the next battlefield. Ciao.
Okay, here we go with the news. War Stories in partnership with History Hit has 3 videos out this week. Was the Gallipoli campaign Churchill's biggest mistake? John J. Pershing, the grandfather of U.S. military strategy. Bah! You know, look, I'm trying to read it. And the human cost of the Vietnam War. All this on War Stories. Wardy Road plays World War II 2 videos, 6mm World War II Canadian progress. Gotta keep my eye on that. Plus, infantry training scenario number 1, Ghost Panzer After Action Report. That's a game by Worthington Publishing, and it is a Jim Crone game. That's right. I remember. I have it. KilRoyWasHere. Been belly busy. He has 9 videos out. Sci-Fi Fantasy Saturdays, he does Marvel Dice Throne. And he continues with Marvel Dice Throne on Sci-Fi Fantasy Saturday. And Sci-Fi Fantasy Saturday, he does the Black Widow. I'm all messed up. How many Saturdays is there? Huh? Anyways. Sanctuary Sunday, oh, for God's sake. Abomination, the Heir of Frankenstein. I like that. And Coffee with Kilroy, The Fields of Normandy 2. A new Michael Lambo game. But this guy's incredible. Huh? Incredible. Also, an HOLLANDSPIELE update. Awesome customer service, of course. Amabel and Mary, never had any problems with them. The Russian Campaign Deluxe 5th Edition by GMT. This is an unboxing and discussion of the, he says, Eastern ... It's the Eastern Campaign. It's the Russian Campaign, it's the Eastern Campaign. What's the matter with that guy? Anyways. And he checks out Inferno, Guelphs, and Ghibellines vie for Tuscany. The year 1259 to 1261. What, those people back then? And last but not least, Ukrainian Crisis and the Little War by HOLLANDSPIELE. All this on KilRoyWasHere. Plus, he sent a video. What a guy. RD of ARDWULF'S LAIR. 2 videos. Wargaming Safety Public Service Announcement. This is an OCS Safety Public Service Announcement. Plus, unboxing ASL Drop Zone Saint Mère-Église by MMP. This is a 2023 game. World War II Indie Nidel's fantastic channel has 3 videos out. Mountain Warfare Special Episode, Up Close and Personal. Mountain Warfare in Italy. Also, Week 232 Tojo Takes Control. The 25th of February, 1944. It's coming close to an end now, this, huh? Coming close. And Luftwaffe defeated in 1 week. War Against Humanity on Indian Idol's channel called World War II. Simple History has 2 videos out. Obi-Wan Nairobi, an SAS hero of the Kenyan terror attack. And Fake News in War. No, really? Fake news. Fake news doesn't exist. The Chief of Bonding with Board Games and RPGs has 2 videos out. Votes for Women. Join the American Women's Suffrage Movement 1848 to 1920 by Fourth Circle Games, and an unboxing Stepping Back in Time with Lucky Productions Inc. Wow. The little soldiers. I should have got them. I should have got them when I was young. The Gentlemen of the Farmer's Aid have 3 videos out. La Primogenita, an unboxing by Legion Wargames, plus Memorial by Alice Oswald from cover to cover. Alexander knows how to read, so yeah, he's giving us a book review. Plus, unboxing Stalingrad by Revolution Games on the Player's Aid, as I said earlier. Mauro Faina for our Italian listeners, but he does do stuff in English. And Il Giannizzero Nero, 3 episodes of that. The Great Battles of Julius Caesar. Also, Guerriglia Accirta. I don't know what that means. And the big battles are, he goes back to Le Grandi Battaglie di Giulio Cesare. Number 4. So this was number 3 was the first one. Number 4 is that one. And he gives us, I guess, about an hour's worth of information on Mauro Faina. Jan Heinemann, Let's Play History, has 6 videos out. Tales of Iron, 1, 2, 3 Tales of Iron, and 3 videos of Suzerain. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing this right. Please someone tell me in the comments below. What can I tell you? On Let's Play History. Hexes and Soldiers Conflict Simulation News, Views, and Reviews. 3 videos out. Commander Focus Series. Ekmul Part 4. And Platoon Leader Live Playthrough. Also set up in live chat for the next battle. And I think Platoon Leader is one of Jason's games. We gotta talk about that with Jason. Hissy Cat Studios, 1 video. Gameplay Fin, solo book games. Well, it says Gameplay Fin. On to Moscow, the final push. This is a game book by Worthington Publishing, designed by Mike Wiley. Gameplay Fin. I don't know if he's trying to say it in English, I mean in French, but that's what's happening on Hissy Cat Studios. Chronicles of Time. Weapons that won the Wild West, Part 1. Charles Latora has 1 video. Slacking off, Charles. Space Mauseling, Infinity Troops, and Some Friends. On Charles Latora. Fill of Games. Check that out, huh? Empire of the Millennium, Basic Concepts 1, The Map, and The Basics, Part 2, Pieces and Cards, 2 videos on Fill of Games. Kevin Kitchen's Once Upon a Game does Death of an Army, Ypres, 1914, an unboxing. The Blue Tweezers, 1 video, Skies Above Britain, mid-campaign, Patrol, this is a live playthrough. Fanny Rob does Charioteer board game, a playthrough. Huh? Charioteer, a game by GMT, designed by Matt Culkin. Yeah. Nanguaya, 9 videos. Any suggestions for a simple gladiatorial miniature game that is like Melee? Says probably would be much appreciated. plus Sunday with Spence and Gable. Tannenberg trying to get the homemade counters. Moves for the Russian 9th Army, November 1st. November 1st turn, I should say. Then, it says here, Ifrinview and HEXES. Ifrinview. Then Zoe goes into nursing. Then Russian 9th Army engaged the lone German 9th Cavalry Division near Radom. And upcoming events hosted by the World War I Museum and Memorial. And he finally figured out what to do with Salza's 4th Army. And another view for the Russian 4th Army shift on Nangwai. Gamer's Closet. Doug Weed. Unboxing Bombshell. Looks like an old World War I game. Tank Zone. 9 videos. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them are on tank reviews. The BWP-1M, the Object 279, Object 187. I don't know what he means by this. Object 287. And IT-1. Other videos are Armored Warfare Mercenary Starter Pack. Is it worth it? 2 videos on that. One about the Elite Starter Pack. And Jorge Alvarez and Olivia Bouchard, Armored Warfare Commander Skills. On Tank Zone. Smitty's Game Table has 1 video. What will the Race to Moscow unboxing discover? On Smitty's Game Table.
The Soviets invaded Afghanistan in 1979. It was an incursion that would last 10 bloody years and end in the defeat and withdrawal of all Soviet forces. 85 Graveyard of Empires. A squad battles game and the successor to 65 squad battles in the jungles of Vietnam, depicts exciting squad-level battles between bands of Afghan Mujahideen and companies of Soviet soldiers. The game features immersive, card-driven play that stresses the fog of war. You never know what maneuver your opponent will attempt. Numerous exciting scenarios featuring historic battles. Squad-level units depicting Mujahideen infantry, Soviet line troops and Spetsnaz, as well as individual T-55-62 tanks, BMPs, Hind helicopters, and more. 85 Graveyard of Empires is a highly tactical game capturing the up-close and personal fighting in a war neither the Soviet soldiers nor Afghan fighters had asked for. It's a game designed by gamers, for gamers to play, by Flying Pig Games.
Howdy to all you folks watching Dan Pincaldi's No Enemies here. It's Meandering Mike in the Man Cave of Madness doing our weekly channel update. We did 9 videos this week. We started with a video here, going to the Man Cave to check out my collection of Dominion and expansions there to see if it matched what I had in Board Game Geek, see if it was up to date. This is inspired by ID Jester, where on his channel he unboxed 15 different expansions of that game. I think he's still in the progress of doing that. So after that, did some videos on miniatures. I'm going to get back to that because we did 6 total. If you look over some, we did a game giveaway celebrating our 350th subscriber. There was 2 winners. One was Tony of Tony's Board Life, who many of you are familiar with. He won and selected GMT's Dominant Species. The other winner this time was Thomas Van Hare. You've heard of him. He runs Historic Wings. He's designer and publisher of 2 game books, solo games, Tally Ho and Mag 23. If you haven't seen his stuff, you can check those out on Amazon. He chose The Age of Napoleon as his prize. I did one unboxing. If you look over there, Stalingrad Advance to the Volga. This is latest release from Revolution Games. The designer is Michael Ranella, and it is a solitaire area movement game, and it's the first in a new series. So looking forward to see what else they come out with that as time goes by. Let's scroll here. Here is the other videos on the channel. So one of those is my update, weekly update, rolling update that I release each week on my channel. You're seeing like this one right now, exclusive on Dan's channel. It'll show up next week. So 6 total videos on miniatures. This started with a subscriber asking me, well, where do you keep all your minis and what do you got, Meandering Mike? And so that one over there, so many minis, tip of the iceberg. That's why I started digging through, trying to find all my minis because they're spread all over the place, and I was basically finding boxes of boxes. So I looked through there, decided to start doing some unboxings of the individual boxes. Now, up here, there's a video on the minis that I actually painted between the 1980s through early 1990s. Got out of the hobby then. But if you like to see some old school role-playing, fantasy miniatures, you can take a look at that. Over a little farther, I unbox a bunch of RuneQuest items, ducks and trollkins and brew. Oh my. I've got quite a few different role-playing oriented miniatures. Never did, army wargaming. Never did Napoleonics, even though I loved Napoleonics in Hex Encounter. Never did it in miniatures wargaming. This video here, I looked at a lot of the books that I have on wargaming rules, rule systems and such, and other boxes of stuff. And the one over there, more variety of boxes, including Kings of War as they're featured in the picture. So many different. If you've never been into minis, you can take a look at all these to see, if you want to get into what kind of variety is available out there. There's a lot more than I've unboxed here. Or you can say, oh my God, I'm not going to get into those minis. There's too many of them, too much money. And indeed, it is a money sink. So that's it for my channel this week. So I'm going to send it back to you, Dan, and all the folks watching No Enemies Here. Thanks. I'm back. One more update, folks. In case you missed it, I was on the Chronicles of Not Jay on Wednesday night. I was interviewed by Not Jay himself, Chris. 10-minute interview there. So if you want to know some more about my background, how I got into gaming and all that good stuff, a little bit about my channel there, you can go watch episode 106, which was the 2-year anniversary show for the Chronicles of Not Jay. So check that out. Thanks.
War games and sports game on Hexed and Countered. We have 6 videos this week. Night of Man, that is 3 videos on Night of Man. This is an introduction playthrough 1 and 2 of a game designed by, if I'm not mistaken, Mark Walker and published by Flying Pig Games. Plus, did you check out that new 85 Afghanistan thing? I think it's on Kickstarter right now. Then he checks out 2 videos of Yeah Magazine number 15, The Streets. The Streets of Huey? Since I made that mistake, I don't... Of Huey. Of Hugh. The Battle of Hugh. I just can't remember what it is anymore. The Vietnam thing, the Battle of Hugh. I guess. Yeah Magazine number 15. Again, a Flying Pig Games magazine, plus Stalingrad, Advance to the Volga, 1942, a first look, and this is I'm gonna say a VUCA simulation. That's what I'm gonna say. But I'm probably wrong, and that's why you come here to get the news. Smart War Games has 9 videos out, and it is... The first thing is Front Mission. The Scars of War, then Color Wars, then Combat Mission Black Sea, and Bakhmut Mechanized Winter Assault Combat Mission Black Sea, again the Black Sea, Shadow Company Left 4 Dead, Windows, or Winback, it says here, I thought it was Windows, Winback, an old NES game, actually said Nintendo 64 game, and Talonsoft West Front, then Combat Mission Black Sea Highway E97 by Virtual Simulations. This is all a video thing. Then Combat Missions Red Thunder Tigers at Ogledau. Combat Mission Red Thunder and Fire and Rubble something ... on Smart War Games. 9 videos. Nerd Workshop. 1 video. The Russian Campaign 5th edition. Game designed by J.R. Edwards and published by GMD. This is a first look and thoughts. Tikanis, George Hiotis, Everything ASL. 2 videos. Advanced Squad Leader. U-20 Fighting at World's Edge. This is an after-action report plus Second Front. Introductory scenario, German versus the US. 3 houses. He's doing this on... He does the first one on Vassal and this is the second one on Tabletop Simulator. Creature features, man! Planet of Dinosaurs. Who doesn't like dinosaurs? Plus, Giant from the Unknown. You gotta watch that. I'm telling you. The Dusted Game Shelf looks at, well, he has a pirate and his parrot. 2 minutes 22. Just like the medication. Mike Lambo's Solitaire book game club thing. Another one. He's got the Fields of Normandy 2, but this one is the Lone Sherman and the Fields of Normandy 2. 2 Solitaire war games in a hardback book. This guy's going crazy. He's going crazy. Man, I love all this stuff. He's going crazy. He's a madman. He closes himself off in a room and his wife throws the sandwiches down a tube, you know, and the tube is connected to his mouth, so he doesn't even have to get up and get it. He just chews because he's writing game books. Or he's designing game books all the time. You go, Mike. Crazy as you are. U-Boater 6583 videos, Traveler Companion Spaceship Combat, round number 1. And SCS, that is a... I said strategic before, but it's not. It is... I don't know. This is an MMP game. It's Operation Battle Axe, The Desert Rat Strike. And talking about that, check out the Prime... I think it's on Amazon. Rogue One, I think it's called. I might be mistaken. But it's a new series. Yeah, it's all maltsy a bit and schmaltzy, this and that. But it's made by the guys from Peaky Blinders. So when you least expected, someone's eye gets gouged out and you see it in slow motion. That's what I mean. Plus, Traveler Campaign, Spaceship Combat, Missiles on U-Boater 658. Zilla Blitz, 6 videos. Junker 87 STUKAJOE Mission number 2. This is a game by Lock and Load Publishing. Plus, Counterattacks, SGS Okinawa, a World War II US Japan game. This is a PC war game. It looks like an MMP PC war game, but no. Actually, it looks like a VUCA Simulations PC war game. Then, it's gameplay and review. It's The Hunt, war game review and gameplay, Salt and Pepper Games by Matthias Kramer. And Heroes of the Pacific, Lock and Load Publishing, checks out the board game. And Old School ATS, no GPS, no mappies. He's on his truck simulator and he's carrying grass. Not the grass that you smoke, the grass that you roll. Rolls of grass to put on your lawn. What's in your head? You know, I got a story. Anyways, forget it. Also, the last one, SGS Okinawa, World War II US Japan, the same PC war game. Episode 9 on Zilla Blitz. Juste Garde, 1 video, Votes for Women. That's a new arrival. This is an overview of the recreated historical material ... Man, that's for you to go check out, for me to present it, and for you to go check it out. Come on, Sci-Fi Channel, who doesn't believe in aliens? Aliens at the Pentagon, an hour's worth of this, man. The real X-Files. Secrets you won't believe. Come on, man. Didn't you see it? I saw it. Dave of Dave's Gaming Cave. 6 videos of the same game. He does an unboxing. Then he does a British short campaign mission number 1 through 5. Aces of Valor. This is a Legion War Games game. 6 Actual has 1 video, and it's Old Breed South Pacific Band of Brothers. This is a Jim Crone game published by Worthington Publishing. Assault the Beach. The Beach. I have a joke. My jokes are politically incorrect. But I'm gonna say it anyways. Alright? I'm gonna say it anyways. So there's this... I'm not gonna say it. You want me to say it? FaceTime me. I'll say it. The Board Game Chronicles has 1 video out, and it's storage solutions for Warfighter, the World War II Pacific combat card game by DVG. Kings and Generals, 3 videos. Ascalon 1099, for God's sake. The First Crusade, number 13. The Last Battle of the First Crusade. Holy moly, you want to screw me up? It's 10% of 2%, gives you 7%, which is the 10th percentile of the 60% that we made. Battle of Bismarck Sea, the 28th of February to 7th of March, 1943. This is a documentary, plus Roots of Protestant Reformation, from heresy to revolution. I was going to say Hershey. Hershey. This is a religious documentary. They're short. They're about 20 minutes long. Kings and Generals. Very cool channel. Castle Archin, where he tells you 1 more reason for Hern World. Already likes Hern World. Hex to Hex, 1 video, and it's Tunisia 2. November 42. Operational Combat Series from MMP. Legendary Tactics has 6 videos. Bowl-bound review, Avalon Hill and Sports Illustrated football board game, plus Apocalypse Road board game reboxing. Reboxing. Okay. Fall of Saigon, a reboxing. Okay. Plus, what is a 5X board game? Europa Universalis, the price of power. And we have Jason Matthews, perfectly coiffed, perfectly shaved, an interview. He talks about Twilight Struggle, Red Sea conflict, and the Horn of Africa. And why did so many people back Ascension Tactics Inferno? He tells you this in 4 minutes. Or they backed it in 4 minutes, because his video's in 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it screw me up with numbers, man. Wojennik TV, for our Polish listeners, has 3 videos this week, all in Polish. Something about... Well, all I can tell you is something about unboxing the Blitzkrieg Legend out of the 3 videos, and it's the Battle for France 1940, an Operational Combat Series game, and I'm assuming it's an MMP. It's very hard language, Polish. History Hustle. Why was there a Ukraine state in the Russian Far East? I don't know. Why is Alaska? Why is there... What I'm trying to say is, why is there a U.S. state in Canada's upper north called Alaska? Huh? I know why. Do you? Respect. Jim Wozarski 3 videos, the Battle of Corunna for Valor and Fortitude, plus a double-blind Spearhead Part 2, and the Battle of Corunna Part 2 for Valor and Fortitude. What does he mean for Valor and Fortitude? What does he mean by that? Can someone tell me? For God's sakes, man. ASL Scenario Archives, IR83, Kids These Days, Part 1. This is hardcore, man. Hardcore ASL. Stephen Dolges, 3 videos. Bonaparte Overruns Piemonte, an unboxing. Plus Nation in Arms, War of the First Coalition, 1797, and a post-mortem. I'm assuming a after-action report on Stephen Dolges. Tony of Tony's Board Life has 1 video in its Stalingrad Advance to the Volga Part 3. And this is a game published by Revolutions Games. Yeah, now I know. Thanks, Tony. Adolf Hitler, Secret Agent. This is what's happening on The Man Who Looks Like a Vampire in his War Stories segment, not his film segment. He's got 2 channels. And it's War Stories with Dr. Mark Fountain. The guy's amazing. Timmy of Harebrained Games reviews Nevsky, a game by Volko Runke, published by GMT, General Mountain Time. ID Jester, not to be without ID Jester, 6 videos, he's slacking off. He's doing a live Open the Box Dominion Expansion 11 Nocturne. You know something, Kurt? I was into Dominion big time. I probably still am, because, you know what I mean, if anybody would play with me, my wife won't even play anymore. But man, I stopped at expansion number 9. Now we're at expansion number 11. Donald Vaccarino. Bloody hell, you know what Vaccarino means? Vaccarino, cowish. He's Vaccarino. He's cowish. Moo 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 moo. Plus Relic Warhammer 40,000 board game Canonese Rogue Trader Commissar du Battle ... Go check it out. Then the War Room. How the same game can be viewed so differently. Aye. Tank Duel with the War Room versus Mike Butter Jelly, Dave's Gaming Cave, and Nerd something. Butter Jelly. Bertuccelli. Butter Jelly. Also, look back at gaming in February 2023. How did we do it? And the War Room with the Player's Aid, talking war games. What the hell else you gonna talk about with those 2 schmucks? Hey, what are you gonna talk about? Scotch? They don't drink! God damn it.
This week on Seek Out and Play, we cover Lanzerath Ridge by DVG. Designed by David Thompson, the video covers the example of play as found in the rulebook. In addition, the victory conditions of the game are covered, and a brief history of the battle is presented bracketing the play example. Check out more videos on the Valiant Defense series when you visit Seek Out and Play YouTube channel. And I will see you next Wednesday.
My favorite Frenchie Freddy, the CSR winner, and the Grognard of the Year, Fred Serval of HolllandsPIELE, has one video out, and it's playing colonialism, board game ethics. Now what's this guy with the board game ethics? Kill, I say! Ethics. Combat board games, looking at The Fields of Normandy 2 by Mike Lambo. This guy, I'm trying to get an interview with this guy, but this guy, he's giving me a hard time. Now, I don't appreciate that, Mike Lambo. And you better get in touch with me and give me a bloody interview. That's how you get interviews. So, Combat Board Games is looking at The Fields of Normandy 2 by Mike Lambo. The PBS voice of war games, the Oaken Night, still ain't finished with the table upgrade. How to select materials? Just select the bloody materials, build the bloody table, and show us. Huh? Wait, you're like this guy I know going on and on about a bathroom and a shower. For God's sakes, man. On the Oaken Night. Ruffy of Rough Swordsman Wargamer, 2 videos out. Open the Box, GMT's Beneath the Med, an unboxing a game by Gregory M. Smith, published by GMT. And Not a War Game Wednesday, in his Open the Box, Final Girl, The Haunting of Creech Manor. I thought it was Cheech Manor. You know, would have been a lot of Italians there. Whoa, hey, what's up? Hey, come on, whoa, hey! But it's Creech Manor.
Turn to cutting in line in front of Italians. Hey, Copernicus, why don't you navigate yourself to the back of the line with your feet and stand there with your shirt?
Little Wars TV has Fireball Forward Rule Review in Mark's Game Room. These guys have 65,000 subscribers. Huh? The guy who looks like a vampire again, Mark Felton of Mark Felton Productions. 3 videos this week. Infamous Guns, Episode 2, Dr. Goebbels' Pistol. What a weenie. Plus Fritz X, the World War II German smart bomb. Yeah. And Hitler's Forgotten Chancellery. Okay. On Mark Felton's production. The Professor Riccardo Mazzini has 2 videos out. One in English of Inferno, Vocals game, published by GMT, and plus his episode 5 of how he makes a vlog where and how he works with his content. Condivido. Dove e come condivido. Oh, how he divides his context or something like that. I'm like, hey, Rica, help me. Come on, you're speaking Roman here. Speak Italian. On Riccardo Mazzini. The Cop, that is Wayne Hansen. 1 video, Wayne. God, Wayne, hey, you flaking out on us or what? What's happening? They got you out, on the beat. Huh? Verdict. It's an overview and review of Archie's War, the battle for Guadalcanal. Dave of Centurion's Review does a war chat number 70, the effects of weather on wargaming and real life. Well, I can tell you, the effects of wargaming, it slows you down if it's bad. In real life, you freeze your ass if it's bad. So that's what it is. Mo of Mo's Game Table, 2 videos. Prelude to Revolution, Russia's Descent into Anarchy, 1905-1917. This is a preview of a Compass Games game, plus Land and Freedom, the Spanish Revolution, and Civil War. That was an ugly one. And the Germans, they practiced there. God, you know, anyways, it's a game from Blue Panther. I don't know who designed the game. Could be Steve of Blue Panther. Compass Games is live with Town Hall episode number 61. The gaming gang, Jeff McAleer, who has 10,000 subscribers, interviews and talks about Harn's World and its 40th anniversary hardcover Kickstarter with Grant the Canadian Dalglish. That's right. Columbia Games is a Canadian company. All right? That's all. Cody of the Discriminating Gamer, one video, and it's Votes for Women. That's right. The fantastic and beautiful STUKAJOE is doing Votes for Women on a Sunday night bomb run. Ah! What's going on? What am I missing? Where have I been? Look who's back. The quiet but formidable foe! Jonathan Townsend. He's running the blade. Well, Jonathan, you gotta tell me what the hey that means. But he is a quiet but formidable foe! Jonathan Townsend. Check out some of his videos, man. And a minister that is Joel Toppin has one video out, and it's new from GMT Games. It's the Russian campaign, like you had guessed. Games from the Front, Call of Cthulhu, RPG 7 actual play. The Auction episode number 4. 7E. If he had the I, it would be septième. But I don't know what the E is there for. This confuses me. Actually drives me crazy. It's probably a typo. Or a finger shot. But in the 7, I look at the 7, the E is far away. So what happened? All right. GIMPY of the GIMPY Gamer. 3 videos. Bismarck Solitaire board game from Worthington Publishing. And Nguyen Hui. Or Nguyen Hugh. Yeah, Hugh. 72 review. See, I'm screwed up. I do it once, I screw up for the rest of my life. Then his 3rd video was Nuclear War Simulator review. Hey. Alrighty. And a new channel that was proposed to me by someone on BGG, Andrew Chung, I hope I pronounced your name right, has 9 videos out. He talks about Upfront, then Remember the Main. He does 5 videos on Remember the Main, plus Ships of War episode number 1, USS Iowa versus Paleo. All right, then Attack Subdual scenario playthrough, and Heroes of Normandy, plain carnage scenario. Normandy, i.e., not Heroes of Normandy by Lock and Load Publishing. It's by Something Pig Games, not Flying Pig Games, Devil Pig Games, those Frenchmen in France. Freddy knows them. On Andrew Chung's channel, check it out, and thank you very much for letting me know about this. It's always fantastic.
Hello all! Today, Kilroy goes off the shelf and back onto his table. For my weekly update, and my week starts with Sci-Fi Fantasy Saturday, where I covered Marvel Dice Throne and all its various add-ons. If you like Yahtzee on steroids, if you like fighting games, if you like asymmetrical powers, if you like Marvel, well, then you need to take a look at Marvel Dice Throne. Next came Sanctuary Sunday, where I covered Abomination, the Heir of Frankenstein. This is a game where the Frankenstein's monster has hired you, well, kind of hired you, kind of forcing you to make him or it a companion. And so you are going to follow in the footsteps of Victor Frankenstein and make him a companion. And this is kind of a dark, raw, macabre, really interesting game that's not for the faint of heart and not really for small kids. But take a look at that on my on my Sanctuary Sunday. Then I got back into war games with the Russian campaign. Yes, the lofty, the classic Russian campaign. There's not one, but two versions that are out for purchase. One is by Compass, and this one is from GMT Games. And this one follows the classic Russian campaign that was produced by Avalon Hill at one point. And so I do an unboxing and discussion of the Russian campaign. Next, I go into Inferno, which is the latest in the Levian campaign series. A little bit of shine there. This is volume 3, and this is dealing with the Guelphs and Ghibellines from 1259 to 1261. This is in the Tuscany region of Italy, and it's medieval operational goodness. If you like the Levian campaign series, then by all means, you need to take a look at this. This is an extension of that. It does change up a few things to fit with this time period, but yet is a very nice production value and production of the Levian campaign series. Then I went to HOLLANDSPIELE with Ukrainian Crisis and The Little War. Now, this is 2 games in one box, kind of a small box too, but this is produced by HOLLANDSPIELE, and the designer is Brian Train. He designed both these games. He designed the Ukrainian Crisis during the 2014 Ukrainian Crisis, I think, when it was the Crimea Peninsula was under attack. And so this was hypothesizing a full-on Russian intervention. Who would ever think that would happen, right? So anyway, this, given that we're at a year out of the current Russian-Ukrainian war, I thought this would be an interesting one to take a look at. Then I finished up the week with Mac and Lee, which is John Thiessen's second installment in the American Civil War operational series. Yes, I'm doing a lot of operational stuff these days. This is dealing with the Peninsula campaign, and it's got a unique mechanism in here on how to deal with Mac, how to deal with McClellan and all his, cautiousness, uncertainty, his passiveness, whatever you want to call it. There's a different mechanism in there to kind of help simulate that, which is always something that is poses somewhat of a challenge for Civil War game designers. How do you deal with McClellan when he has superior forces or superior position and squanders it away? Well, this tries to address that. So anyway, that's what I covered this week. Check out my channel to see what's coming up next, or check out any of these videos or anything I've done in the past. Thanks all. Take care. Hello again. Well, I almost forgot that I actually started off the week after Sanctuary Sunday. I went into the Fields of Normandy, a solitaire war game. This is Fields of Normandy 2 from Mike Lambo. This is a continuation of his solitaire war game system, but it's actually a continuation of Fields of Normandy 1. We don't ever call the first one number 1, though, do we? And so I did a quick coffee with Kilroy and page through of the Fields of Normandy 2. So check that out as well. Now you can go. Dan needs a video. Dan needs a video. Oh my God. Hey, cup of Joe. I don't got time for coffee.
Another week, another show, and you know what we're at? I'd say we're at episode 39. I don't know what episode we're on anymore. For God's sakes, I know that at the end of March, we're in our 7th year. That means we've done 6 years. Holy man. 6 years. So please like, subscribe, and support this channel. And lots of stuff going on. Kickstarters. I think they're starting to kick up again because spring is happening, and Mark Walker of Flying Pig Games, got off running with an 85 Afghanistan graveyard. Kickstarter, that's what I'm trying to say. Don't forget to check out, I just did an interview with Marc Rodrigue. The guy knows way more about Quebec than I do, which is really cool because Quebec is the, and I'm going to say it, the foundation of North American society. Argue that with me, please. Please! But don't come here and argue that because we'll kill you. So let's pick a neutral ground. I'm itching to play games. As a matter of fact, I found a game place right in the back of my house. It's been a year and a half. I didn't know. Why didn't I know? Because as you're driving down the street, it's just a door, but the stuff is happening in the back. Who goes in the back? Bloody hell! And it's called the Bearded Octopus. And it's mostly Magic cards, Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and stuff like that. That's, I guess, what brings in the people. I went in, I was excited, you know, and they had a couple of board games. They don't charge you anything to play. You know, you buy chips, this and that. I don't know how else they make their money, but they sell a hell of a lot of cards. Mucho. So, I don't know. Maybe we'll have a no enemies con. No enemies here con. Have about 2-3 people, you know? And play for an afternoon. Look, it's a lot of fun. I know Carl won't drive down. He might. But I know Stack Academy has the big thing happening in Montreal. This would just be like, I don't know, a half stack. Or a quarter stack. Or a 1/10 of a stack. Maybe I'll speak to Marc Guenette. And maybe we can start a stack over here or something like that. I don't know how to organize some, whatever. And that's it, man. Thanks for watching. It's fun. I'm exhausted. I'm clean, though. And all the cracks I make during the show, it's out of love, man, okay? It's a joke, all right? So, that's it. You want to scream at me? Scream at me. You want to come and beat me up? You're more than welcome. It's -50 out here, okay? So, I'll see you next week. Be nice.